Hey guys, it's Kyle, and usually I do some level of preparation for these videos, plan out some bullet points to talk about, which we usually put over here, but today I'm just gonna let it rip because what's going on with the payroll protection program and its now lack of funding is literally costing jobs and businesses in real time by the minute. Not an exaggeration there. Every minute that this program is not funded, people are losing their jobs. You're averaging almost 1 million job losses per day over the last 3 weeks. Talking 17 million jobs in 3 weeks. And every minute this program isn't funded, people are going to continue losing jobs. So what happened? If you're watching this channel, you're interested in small business or these SBA loans, chances are you probably already know that today the SBA ran out of the initial batch of $349 billion in funding assigned by the recently passed CARES Act to go to small businesses for the purpose of funding these payroll protection or PPP loans. We saw this coming. We saw it coming almost before the bill was even passed. But certainly for at least the last week, it was clear that these loans were going to be oversubscribed, meaning most small businesses were applying and that $349 billion was going to run out. The administration, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, the Wall Street Journal, you name it, has been campaigning Congress, particularly the Democrats in Congress, to add a $250 billion raise on the cap because that money was going to run out. Now, I don't want to get too political on here because I can certainly find plenty of fault in things that the administration does and even Donald Trump, of course. However, what Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats are doing is costing people jobs in real time. Today, the funding has expired and Congress has not yet approved the additional $250 billion that is being requested under the guise of, well, we want to be fair, all businesses have an equal shot. If you don't have a big bank lender, you might not have the same shot as a more established business, yada, yada, yada. There's almost no truth in that because today, and if you watch our video yesterday about the top 5 online lenders, you do not need a big business banking relationship. You do not need to have 100 employees and a banker you work with on the daily. You can be a small business like we are with actually 1 W-2 employee, or you can have 5 or 10. You could not have a bank account and you can still get approved for these loans simply by going to Fundera or PayPal or BoFly, or Square is soon going to be accepting applications. It is now the democratization of business loans. Everyone gets the same terms. It's available to businesses from 1 to 500 employees. And the Democrats are saying, no, we don't want to fund this more because we want it to be more fair. While certainly not perfect, no program ever, especially one rolled out in a handful of weeks, is ever perfect. This is one of the most fair business funding programs anyone has ever seen. On both the left and right agree on this. This has bipartisan support. But Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats are not funding it because they claim that some businesses are disadvantaged and they want to set aside money for businesses that historically do struggle with these sorts of things. Women-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses, and even farmers and other small businesses. They're keying on farmers because they know that plays to the right, when in reality they're holding this up so minority and women-owned businesses have access to these funds, which, by the way, I'm all for, everyone is for. The problem is it's a straw man argument. Everyone has equal access to these funds. Yes, if you are a big business with a good accountant and have a relationship with your bank already, yes, maybe you were able to call that person on day 1 and they were able to submit your application. But that has passed, and now every business has an equal shot, and they can use online lenders or they can call up their local bank. You don't need to be a customer in most cases. You don't need to have a bank account in most cases. The only thing you need to apply and get approved for these loans are basic things that you should have if you're in business, and if you don't, quite frankly, you shouldn't be in business. And that is an EIN number, or if you're an independent contractor, like a realtor, whose income is not salaried but 1099, you simply use your social security number. So there are very basic things here that you need to have to exist as an individual or a business. Your EIN number or your social security number. If you are a business and do have payroll, you need Form 940 or 941 that literally just proves that you paid payroll taxes on that amount. And if you're a business owner like myself and you have personal income that you can apply for, you need to show your K-1. These are all things you need to have to basically do your taxes. And if you have a business, you have these things. You don't need fancy accounting. You don't need to open up your books. You don't need a personal guarantee. You don't need a certain credit score. This is available for everyone. And it is being held up right now using a straw man argument that some businesses are disadvantaged. And the reality, as I said before, is yes, businesses that have a banker they deal with traditionally, that have big accounts with large banks and 400 or 500 employees, probably had an easier time, excuse me, of applying for these loans. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because if they had that sort of relationship, it means they employ a lot of people, and those people are getting these loans to keep them working. So when the economy hopefully recovers, people have jobs and businesses don't go under and have to hire new people and train them. That is the whole purpose for this. It's really just a form of unemployment compensation being routed through businesses to keep people steady within a business and keep that business, give them a fighting chance on the way out. So something needs to be fixed here. The goal of this channel is not to rant on things and have hot takes. We try and be informative, and over time we want to have solid, reasoned, pragmatic analysis about business. But this is one of those cases where what is happening is wrong. Even my dog is upset about it, and it needs to be fixed. More funding is needed for the PPP. It has bipartisan support, and today you cannot apply. So what happens? What if you still haven't applied or your loan hasn't been processed? Our top recommended online lender, video yesterday, is Fundera. They sent an email shortly after the SBA announced that they were out of funds, and they said they will continue to accept applications and expect that more funding will be added, and that through their banking partners, they will be able to submit and process applications once more funds are added. So today, you can go to Fundera and apply, and they will hold your application packet, and when more funds are added, they will submit it to banks that have the capacity to support it. PayPal too. We've heard unbelievable stories of people getting funded within 8 hours and 24 hours by applying through PayPal. PayPal is no longer accepting any applications right now, probably due something to volume, but also because the SBA is not funding these loans anymore. And they say once they do, they will open the application process back up. So PayPal seems like an unbelievable option, particularly for these small businesses who ostensibly are not able to apply for these loans. Everyone knows PayPal. Any small business owner or independent contractor could have gone there 8 hours ago and applied for the loan with the expectation it could be funded within just a day or two. PayPal actually seems to be doing a good job of this, but right now you can't even apply because we're out of funds. So what to do? Again, our video yesterday, top 5 online lenders. This is available to independent contractors, small business. You don't need a lot of documentation. You just need basic business information, things you should have if you're in business or an independent contractor. Check out that video. Find ones like Fundera, we recommend them for now, or BoFly that are still accepting applications. Get your application in if you haven't applied yet, and when hopefully more money is made available, they will submit those applications to banks for hopefully processing quickly. If you have submitted an application with one of those, okay, problematic, because now you're in this limbo zone. BoFly and Fundera have been very communicative with their customers, and they have said, we have your application, it has not yet been approved, but we have it, it's in the queue, and the banking lenders we're working with expect to have the capacity and the availability to dole out these funds if Congress adds more money to the program. So I would keep monitoring your application. If you've submitted 1 or 2, I don't think at this point I would submit more, because the only thing that should be holding it up is the lack of funding. So keep an eye on that account. Make sure whoever you applied with communicates with you. And if you have trouble getting through to them and they're not proactively emailing you, even in bulk, just with an update on application status, then look elsewhere. But for now, I would sit tight and make sure that your application is at least still in the queue if possible. This is a big problem. We'll try and keep you updated. Hopefully more funding is added within the next 24 hours so small businesses can get these loans. If you have any gripes, or if you found a bank that is still accepting applications and plans to process them, if more funds are added, leave a comment down below. If you like what you see here, you found this helpful or maybe even a little bit cathartic, please give us a thumbs up. This is a new account. We're gonna have a lot of business information, not just about loans, but also starting small business trends coming out of this. So please do subscribe, leave a comment, like, and if there's anything you want us to cover or talk about next, also let us know too. And good luck, hang tight. I know this is a sub-ideal situation, but hopefully this thing gets funded. Thanks.